this was the opportunity that was multiplied for me. In 2019, in the first cohort, I was appointed and deployed to Murang'a County, and under the tutelage of public servants, such as the then County Commissioner, Murang'a County, Mohammed Bare, and the Deputy County Commissioner that I served under, the DCC, Mawera Mungania, they gave me the opportunity as a young person to be able to be a person of consequence, not only in the sub-county that I was serving, but also the county that I would later go on to vie as an MCA in the upcoming 2022 elections. I wouldn't get the opportunity to serve as a member of county assembly. But then the governor of Murang'a County, Dr. Irongo Kang'ata, saw a young man who was very vibrant and very articulate in delivering the vision of the young people of this nation, and decided that I would be his deputy governor of Murang'a County. Your Excellency, the young people of this nation do not require to be given handouts, but rather require opportunities and promotion of their self-determination. These young people, since they were in primary schools, they were called the leaders of tomorrow. But today here, I want to say, tomorrow has come for them. The young people in this program are the people in their responsibilities. They are the people who are going to serve this nation, not only to build this nation, but to build the future where our nation is going to be prosperous. I would love to say a quote that has directed me in most of my opportunities. A Roman philosopher, Seneca, once said that what most people call luck is when opportunity meets a prepared mind. I want to urge the young people being commissioned here today. The opportunity to serve your nation and the opportunity to transform your nation is right here. It's right here with you. But most importantly, the opportunity to transform your own lives through the works of your hand. I want to urge the young people that the opportunity do not last forever, but do not be drawn to the politics. Do not be drawn to the politics that do not inspire development, the politics that do not inspire leadership, the politics that do not inspire hard work, but rather the simple opportunities that you have been given here today. Let it be a guidelight to you and to the next generations that you are going to serve. As you are being commissioned here today, Your Excellency, these young people require only a simple opportunity, like the simple opportunity being given to a very lonely intern 3 years ago. And ever since, 2 years down the line, I have served as an Assistant County Commissioner Cadet, and now serving as the youngest Deputy Governor in the Republic of Kenya. But Your Excellency, I also want to thank you most sincerely, because your bottom-up revolution agenda has inspired the potential of these interns to be people of consequence in this nation. Becoming a policymaker in this administration, not only a leader who inspires young people, but also a person who believes that the bottom-up agenda that serves the young people of this nation, the mamamboga and the person mwenye anachoma mahindi, these are the people who can be of consequence in this nation. Your Excellency, this program under the Public Service Internship Program is the foundation of the bottom-up development agenda. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Your Excellency, if there ever was a hustler, huyo ndio hustler mwenyewe. Alikuwa anachoma mahindi Thika, anapika popcorn. Public Service Commission ikachukua yeye, ikanyorosha yeye, kapolish yeye, and you see what he has become. And for Governor Kangata, maybe he might get some competition in 2027. Acha tutaona vile kutaenda. So, the third event this morning, Your Excellency, is to present again to you the first and about to graduate cohort of 51 public service emerging leaders fellowship program, developed in partnership with the Emerging Public Leaders USA, a Washington-based public sector leadership think tank, and Emerging Leaders Foundation, Africa. This year-long program, Your Excellency, trains, molds, and mentors a young and emerging generation to be better leaders in the public sector, capable of providing transformative solutions to pressing policy issues. It slightly differs from the internship program as it targets fresh employed graduates who are less than 2 years in the public service. However, the coherence and synergy of both the internship and public service emerging leaders program is as encapsulated in the main event today, the values and principles in Articles 10 and 232 of the Constitution, and the very ethos of our well-being as a nation state. On behalf of my commission, I similarly have the honor to request the 51 fellows of the first cohort of the program to be upstanding, and their class president, Ms. Lynette Kafaso, a human resource officer in the State Department of Labor, to make her brief remarks on behalf of this class. Lynette, you're welcome.
Gets quite difficult to speak after a politician has spoken. His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the Deputy President of Kenya, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, and all other protocols observed. Good morning. I thank God for this day, and I thank God for this opportunity. My name is Lynette Kafaso. I am a Human Resource Management and Development Officer at the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection, State Department for Labor and Skills Development. I am also the President, with a small p, of the inaugural cohort of the Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship Program. Every journey has a story, and our story as the Public Service Emerging Leaders inaugural cohort is that of embarking to be leaders who are value-driven, ethical, competent, leaderable, leaders who are willing and able to go beyond the call of duty. A story was told of a young man who was going to school one morning, and on his way to school, he met a sculptor who was just about to begin his day's activities. He had a very huge stone on top of the table, and he was just about to start carving the stone. He looked at the stone, passed by, never thought much of it. I want to imagine this must have been Western or Eastern, but let me go with the prime CS. I'll use Western. On his way back, the same spot where he had left the huge stone, he found a very huge lion, well carved out. And in his confidence, the boy approached the sculptor. And he asked, Ango, ulijuaje kulikuwemo na simba ndani ya hii mawe? Ulijuaje kweli? And Ango, in his wisdom, responded, Simba alikuwemo akilini mwangu kabla nimweke kwenye mawe. Your Excellency, I hereby put to you that that is exactly what the government of Kenya and the public service in partnership with EPL and ELF has done to us and will continue to do to us. We have been carved, carefully carved, into lions, lionesses, and even cubs. I say cubs because we are not yet emerged. Some of us are still emerging. Some will emerge in the next 1 year, 2 years, 10 years. But when all is said and done, we are going to live to the true spirit of this program. I know you are wondering, what is it that we do? One lion, Jacob Day killed. The adult learners in their section. This ICT lab is able to give these learners an opportunity to research and to find out more information in the course of their study for free. And even it's also open for some of the youth around Nakuru West sub-county. Another lion, Henry Nyamogosa, walked into Kisumu Polytechnic less than 1.5 years ago, found a dying department, a department that had even the learners fail because of the attitude people had towards it. And in the words of his supervisor, Madam Catherine Kamonye, he said, Henry Nyamogosa has given the department a new face, and even standing before you is another lioness. As a HR practitioner, we are known for so many things. Some of them are not so good. I've been able to turn my department into a happy place because this is where we spend most of our time. And a happy officer is a happy mom, a happy husband, a happy spouse. And a happy officer is also going to be able to turn that happiness into results. It's no longer just about the discipline cases and the show cause letters. It's about how may I help you? Where are you going? How can I push you? And it has made a huge difference in our department. His Excellency, there are so many success stories that we'd like to tell you. If only you would oblige us a session with you, we will be highly. Let me stop at that. This program has been able to teach us that the more lions in the jungle, the better the jungle. And so, as we are being carved, we carve. As we are being taught, we teach. And I say this because we are honored. And I say honored because when the interns come and the attaches come, they are under us in one way or the other. And so, by the time they are leaving the service after 1 year or after 3 months, are they leaving the service as stones? Or are they leaving the service as lions? Or watatoka kama panya, wale wadogo wadogo. And it's up to us to make that decision of who these interns and attaches and any other officer that is privileged, that we are privileged to handle, turn out the best way possible. It has been a journey, Your Excellency, that has seen us get exposed, get taught, get pushed. It's never easy. But one thing I would say that is that we have been made better people. We are not the same people that came in, but we are better people because the journey continues to make the public service a better place, to turn us into leaders who are going to serve the public with golden gloves. Thank you.
Your Excellency, that's a group that are turning their dreams into reality through this program. That program has been made possible by stakeholders who are present here today, Your Excellency. This is Emerging Public Leaders USA, Emerging Public Leaders Foundation Africa, and ABSA Bank. And I would request these stakeholders to be upstanding for you to recognize them. Thank you. Your Excellency, I do wish to draw your attention to the fact that inasmuch as we empathize with the challenges facing the economy, and our fellow Kenyans, and the austerity measures initiated by your government to mitigate these challenges, it is noteworthy, and sadly so, that the training budget in the entire government was the first casualty of the supplementary budget, austerity measures, at an overkill of 100%. Your Excellency, a culture of continuous learning, training for any worker, more so public servants, is paramount to service delivery and productivity. It promotes high standards of accountability, effectiveness and performance, and develops a knowledge-based and skilled public service, central to meeting the challenges of delivering your election pledges to Kenyans. To merit the high-level expectation of Kenyans, it is my humble request to Your Excellency that your government scales up the training kitty, not only of the programs domiciled at the Public Service Commission, but also in the entire government. My humble take is that the mandazis and samosas we continuously gobble in government offices can be substituted kidogo tu with some funds for the training kitty. Your Excellency, while organizing your government, you did place the performance management function appropriately within the ambit of your office, under the watchful eye of the Prime Cabinet Secretary. This must have been in recognition of a latent lethargy in service delivery, and equally of its critical importance to an effective and efficient public service. On its part, the Public Service Commission will support the Prime Cabinet Secretary through the recently published Public Service Commission Performance Regulations 2021 and other key interventions such as Public Service Excellence Awards and a reward and sanctions framework. Finally, Your Excellency, as I invite the Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Aisha Jumwa, for Public Service, Gender and Affirmative Action, to make her remarks, I wish to echo your words to when the Chief Administrative Secretaries were taking the oath of office. You told them to serve with honor and dignity. In these two programs, who has mothered these two programs up to today. I wish to call her here, Dr. Mary Muyandi, to come and just make very few brief remarks. She is one of my commissioners, and tell us this journey and what she has seen.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, I want to ride on the protocols already established so that we don't spend a lot of time. Your Excellency, in this hall, you have the tools to make your work easier. The young men and women that have been brought in this program, even those who have left in the past ones, are the best you can ever have in your bottom-up approach. Many of them don't know anybody, like the deputy governor. They just made it by what you call luck. Your Excellency, I've had this honor of mothering the public service internship program from 2019. This is the 50th cohort. We have, with these ones, we shall have 16,000 of them. Kindly, sir, let's lift this country with these young men. You have it very easy. With all this, Your Excellency, yesterday, in this group, we had young mothers and young fathers who came with their babies and breastfed them out there throughout the day listening to the induction. This is the heart of Kenya, Your Excellency. The heart, the spirit that make this Kenya greater. My other young people, the emerging leaders, these are officers already in the offices. All they need is to be given that little push, and you have the leaders you want for this country. We have mentors and coaches we have trained, Your Excellency. These interns will not just land in no place. They have people who are going to mother them and coach them and make them the leaders that we want. Your Excellency, sir, I know the chair. The chairman has said it. Is here. All of them very educated and enthusiastic to serve the nation. I thank you very much. Thank you, Chair.
Mary, Your Excellency is the Mother Superior of the two programs. Very passionate about the programs. So as I stand here, Your Excellency, to confirm to you on behalf of my commissioners that the Public Service Commission stands to provide frank advice and support to your government intended to create an integral and impactful public service that will offer collective and purpose-driven value and service to Kenyans. Finally, I wish to thank all the stakeholders, the National Assembly, a Committee of Labor for supporting us, the Chief of Staff and Head of Public Service for giving us this opportunity to have this event today, and also for Kenya Broadcasting Corporation for streaming this event live this morning. Thank you once again for gracing this historic occasion, and it is my singular honor, Your Excellency, to call upon Honorable Aisha Jumwa, the Cabinet Secretary for Public Service, Gender and Affirmative Action, to make her remarks and continue with the rest of the protocol. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, Prime Cabinet Secretary, Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, Attorney General, Honorable Justin Muturi, fellow cabinet secretaries present, chairman and commissioners of the Public Service Commission, principal secretaries present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, our cohorts, hamjambo. Hamjambo tena. Your Excellency, your presence here today demonstrates your commitment to improve public service as one of the pillars for catalyzing the development of this country. This commitment is in line with the Kenya Kwanza Manifesto that, among other things, seeks to build a highly skilled, agile, and responsive public sector workforce with appropriate roles for civil servants and other service providers. To develop strategic foresight mechanism to anticipate and addressing changing workforce requirements. To ensure long-term institutional knowledge capacity amidst the retirement wave and design new human capital system consistent with merit system principles, including modernizing policies and practices for recruitment, retention, training, and development. Your Excellency, the 2010 Constitution provides for a public service that is responsive, prompt, effective, impartial, and one that provides equitable services to the citizens. The Constitution has placed the values and principles in Article 10 and 232 at the center of public service delivery. These values begin at the individual officer level as they step up to the institutional level. It is therefore the responsibility of both the individual officer and the respective institution to mainstream the values and principles in all processes in public service delivery as law provides. The 2021-2022 Values and Principles Report indicates that our public service has achieved the constitutional two-thirds gender representation of staff overall, with men at 62% and women at 38%. However, we are yet to achieve this at the policy and senior management levels. We also still have a way to go to achieve the African Union Agenda 2063 and the Sustainable Development Goal number 5 that aspires 50-50 of gender representation. Further, in regards to the representation of people with disabilities in public service, there has been improvement towards achieving the 5% threshold, but we are yet to be there. The ministry will continue exploring more affirmative action initiatives to improve the representation beyond the reported 1.4%. Your Excellency, the Target Group in Public Service Internship Program and the Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship Program represent the very segment of the population that the Kenya Kwanza government seeks to empower through the bottom-up economic transformation model. For this reason, Your Excellency, and in my execution of mandate as the Ministry of Public Service, Gender and Affirmative Action, we will continue to explore ways of enhancing the impact of such initiatives going forward. As a way of increasing youth presentation in public service relative to their population, the Ministry of Public Service will continue working with the Public Service Commission to review policies and practices for diverse and inclusion, human resource development, and succession management. Similarly, we are working closely with the Commission and other actors to enhance efficiency and effectiveness in the public service through Huduma Kenya program, as well as putting in place policies, including but not limited to the internship and volunteerism policy and guidelines, the dignity at workplace policy, and the competence framework for public service, among others. And our ultimate goal is to have a public service that your administration envisaged, and at the same time, one that conforms with the aspiration of Kenyans as expressed in the Constitution 2010. Indeed, your directive that 5,000 government services be made accessible to citizens online by mid this year is consistent with the service delivery efficiency and effectiveness goals. I wish to assure you that we are working towards achieving this goal, Your Excellency. To the cohorts, karibuni sana public service. Wahenga walisema kijana ni mzee anayekuwa, na unapokuwa hauhesabiwi kwa urefu ama kwa umri, wala hauhesabiwi kwa kutupa mawe na kuharibu mali za watu. Utahesabiwa na ni kipi ulichokigusa katika maisha ya mwingine. Your Excellency, with these few remarks and with your permission, allow me to invite the Prime Cabinet Secretary to make his remarks. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Madam Aisha. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, Your Excellency, the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, the AG, commissioners, distinguished guests, and most important, the almost 4,000 cohorts present here. Good morning. Your Excellency, I'll be very brief, and I'll not attempt to speak the kind of Kiswahili that Aisha Jumwa is good at. But I'll just say one or two things very briefly, because this is how government is formed. Yesterday, Your Excellency, I had the privilege of accompanying you when you led this country jointly with the Ambassador of the United States and the Deputy Secretary of State for Trade and Investment. And in that session, you made very significant pronouncements of your determination to make sure that this economy is growing and attractive to Kenyan investors and to international investors. Your Excellency, at that forum, you are able to close many deals, but let me just speak to two. You are able to have the closure of Moderna. And I saw Moses Kuria here. Moderna, a huge medical player globally and in the United States, putting a signature to come and invest 500 billion shillings here in Kenya to set up a medical facility. 500 billion US dollars. In Kenya shillings, at the current exchange rate, maybe it's about 80 billion Kenya shillings. over and above that, you are also able to unlock some bureaucracies, and you have laid the foundation for Amazon to come and set their regional headquarters here. Surprisingly, none of those critical things were given the headline. What was given the headline were people moving around without direction in the cities. Why am I bringing up this here? I'm bringing this up here because for any nation to attract investment, it must have an efficient, reliable, dedicated, educated, and competent public service. Private sector will not create jobs, will not pay taxes efficiently and so forth unless it's anchored with an efficient public service. And that public service must be nurtured. So as we are here today, and this should be taken very significantly, that the President is affirming that to him it is time for business and nothing else. We need to get together. We need to develop our capacities. We need to create jobs. We need to make sure that Kenyans have pesa mufukoni. And we have to start with an efficient public service. The President is here today with us, and I think in a few days' time, he'll also be looking at performance contracting, again dedicated to public service delivery. These are very strong messages, very significant messages that we need to step up and have efficient public service. I also wish to commend the Public Service Commission. This is a noble initiative. You are doing a fantastic job. You've done a fantastic job. Personally, I am persuaded that you deserve more help, but I'm not the one to make that decision. That is the decision for my boss. But I am certainly persuaded that the resources that you have been accorded for this program have been utilized effectively, and it is a program that we should continue to consolidate. Your Excellency, I end there, and I would like at this juncture to request the Deputy President, Honorable Rigathi Gachagua, to step forward, make his remarks, and invite you to speak to the nation. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, the Honorable Musalia Mudavadi, Cabinet Secretary is present, the Chairman of the Public Service Commission and your commissioners, and my fellow public servants, good morning. Your Excellency, for those who may not know, my journey to leadership started in the public service. I joined the public service on the 16th of January 1989 as a district officer cadet at a salary of 3,230. Your Excellency, we are here today to commission interns and induct them into the public service. Your Excellency, the occasion today is an important one for your government and your administration. A vibrant and motivated public service is good for any administration. A vibrant and motivated public service is good for the economy. It is good for the country. Your Excellency, the success of your administration will largely depend on the output and the commitment of our public service. Because though you have an elaborate policy in your manifesto, the implementation of those policies to become a gain for the people of Kenya will be implemented by the public service. It is therefore necessary that we invest time and resources in developing a professional public service to support your agenda. Your Excellency, we come from a background where, on your ascendancy to the President last year, we found a demoralized public service. Your Excellency, in the last 7 months, through Felix Koskei, the head of public service, a deliberate program to motivate the public service has been put into place. And I want to assure our public service that the President is committed to having a professional and motivated public service so that we can expedite on service delivery. Your Excellency, in the last 10 years before you acceded to the presidency, I interact with many public officials because I was one of them, and many senior public officials were in my detail. The chairman of the Public Service Commission here, Ambassador Muchiri, was with me in paramilitary training in 1990. He was a bit lazy with the pistol, but he was good with the rifle. And we used to interact with these people those 10 years. And Your Excellency, the public service took a serious beating in terms of image. The previous administration let loose officers from the DCI to harass public servants by arresting them and extorting money from them. And it reached a point where it was becoming like a crime to be a public servant. And public servants were very demoralized because they were demonized as bad people. And Your Excellency, since you came to office, that has come to an end. The public servants have been dignified. They have been given an opportunity to serve. I want to ask all public officials to take advantage of the new dispensation by working with the commitment and agreeing to support investment. Previously, public officials would be a hindrance to ease of doing business through bureaucracy and red tape. We want to ask our public servants to make it easy for Kenyans to do business, to encourage business people, to encourage entrepreneurs, to process their licenses and whatever else they need from your offices so that they can create business and enhance investment in this country. So, Rais wetu, as we commission 3,900 young people here today to come and serve this country, our brothers yesterday were commissioning a larger group of young people to throw stones and create chaos in the city. And Kenyans must start, and you the media, because you are here today, we hope today you will give us equal airtime as we inaugurate these young people to something useful and gainful. You give those people the whole day coverage to throw stones, to steal, to loot, to create noise, to create confusion the whole day. We trust today you will be responsible enough to give this function equal coverage. As young people are being inducted into productivity. For the young people, you have seen the deputy governor Omranga. Please work hard. Stay focused. The sky is the limit. The opportunity you have been given in the public service is a huge opportunity. The public service is an institution of opportunities and learning. This is a good beginning. Seize the opportunity and learn and focus. And one day, you'll be somebody in this country. It is possible. And you don't have to look from far. A little fellow who was an assistant secretary cadet at 3,230 shillings per month, today is Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. What other motivation do you require? It is possible. Please be focused. So, Your Excellency, before I welcome you to address these people, ours is to encourage you to stay focused. You have the mandate of the people of Kenya to spearhead over the economic transformation of this country and uplift the living standards of our people. We encourage you to stay focused. Let the detractors not sway you. Keep your eyes on the ball, and that way you will succeed. And I want to tell the people of Kenya, President William Ruto took the Bible before God and before man in Kasarani and sought to protect the Constitution. Those who are asking him to violate that Constitution are being unfair to him. There is no constitutional provision in our Constitution for a handshake arrangement. It's not there. The president cannot reinstate IEBC commissioners. He doesn't have that power or authority. The president would not even know where the server is stored because it's not his work. This server is being looked for in Mukuru Kayaba, in Koinange Street. I don't know where they are looking for it. We are also interested to know where it is. So if you have some information as to where it is, you tell us so that we can tell the people who are perpetrating post-election violence where it is, so that they stop ruining businesses of other people. Mtuambie hii server iko wapi, tuambie waende huko kuliko kuharibu biashara ya watu kila pahali. And these are not demonstrations. This is post-election violence. The elections was done, Supreme Court ruled, and these people have brought violence. And these are not demonstrations anymore. It's post-election violence. Your Excellency, you have given guidance to this country. This is a country of the rule of law. Let our officers protect life and property, and let everybody go about his businesses without hindrance, without intimidation, because this is our country. With those very remarks, I request all of you to be upstanding and help me with applause to welcome the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Mr. President.
Hey, kumbe kuna watu wengi hapa. Let us take our seats. Thank you very much. Asante sana. Mr. Deputy President, Prime Cabinet Secretary, Ministers present, Permanent Secretaries or Principal Secretaries, Heads of parastatals, public servants, the good people, our interns this morning. Good morning, everybody. Hamjambo. Madam Aisha Jumwa, thank you very much for putting this together. When I see Aisha, she is a great inspiration to many people. And She is a product of internship and mentorship. That is how, the first time I met Aisha Jumwa, she was a counselor in Kilifi County. That today she is serving as cabinet secretary is tremendous progress. Congratulations, Madam, and I hope through you many other public servants find the inspiration to be the best they can, irrespective of where they stand today. Today you may be an intern, but the sky is the limit, so long as you work at it. I am delighted to be with you today at this momentous milestone in the life and career of many youthful emerging public servants and public service leaders. The state is constituted and sustained by the functioning of an effective public service. Government, similarly, expresses itself through the operations of public service. The country is served through the administrative departments of public service, while the economy is coordinated by the regulatory agencies of the public service. The public service is a fundamental constitutional component through which an effective state can achieve and maintain a stable society and efficient economy. In short, it is indispensable to a properly functioning republic such as ours. Government relies on the public service to satisfy citizens' aspirations by implementing policy, projects, and programs according to the mandate conferred on it through democratically elected leaders. The prospects of sustainable development for any society is therefore directly linked to the soundness of its public service. By soundness, I mean a public service that is firmly apolitical, impersonal, scrupulous, impartial, fair, consistent, predictable, and coherent. A sound public service must be loyal and subordinate to elected leadership. The standard for soundness of the public service is set out in Article 232(1) and 10 of the Constitution, which binds everybody acting in the name of the Constitution of Kenya. The government is committed to delivering its pledges to the people of Kenya as set out in our plan for the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. It has therefore embarked on formulating appropriate policy and strategic frameworks that will anchor implementation of our food security and agro-industrial production, affordable housing, universal health coverage, micro, small, and medium enterprises, as well as the digital economy agenda. To deliver a responsive, responsible, and accountable public service is an imperative. I am encouraged that our public service has maintained its political neutrality and impartiality for the greater part of our independent history, and especially since the advent of competitive democracy. In the world of globalization, digital governance, online enterprise, a fit-for-purpose public service is going to look and must be different. This inevitable and undeniable fact calls on us to quickly undertake changes that will enable the public service to adapt effectively and deliver to the highest standard even in changing times. I am confident that our public service is perfectly capable of this historic feat, and that As a result, our nation will never have to suffer disruptions and distortions of teething problems and difficult transitions. We are serving the public at a time of daunting challenges. We are tasked with accelerating economic growth and recovery, ensuring equitable access to opportunity and wealth creation, and also leading our collective adaptation to a ferocious climate situation. We are counting on you to help us deliver the transformation required to overcome these challenges. If we are to deliver on the transformational agenda, we must begin by transforming our public service to make it more responsive to the needs of all our citizens. To place us firmly on this path, the Government of Kenya will adequately facilitate the Public Service Commission to put in place a fit-for-purpose public service. We envisage and expect a service that exhibits high levels of productivity, good governance, patriotism, commitment, diligence, honesty, and excellent performance. I have heard you, Chair, and the Commission on your request on what we need to do to make resources available for the better training, the better preparation of the public service so that they can deliver on their constitutional mandate. And I like the suggestion that you have said we can cut down on the mandazis and entertainment so that we can provide more money for training and mentorship. I wish the Minister for Finance was here so that he can do the needful. I quite agree with the proposition that this cohort of interns and those already in public service have benefited immensely from this program. I listened to you, Chairman, and you said it is the first time the head of state is coming for the public service statutory function as you do your report. I did not come here by default or for lack of something to do. I came here intentionally and deliberately because we have an agenda on account of the public service and especially those who are climbing the ladder from the bottom. The agenda of internship is an agenda I believe in very strongly. There are many things we learn in school, there are many things we learn in college, but there are many more things we learn by mentorship and by internship. I am a great believer in internship and mentorship because I have seen the benefits and the value of mentoring others, providing an opportunity for others to learn. I have had the privilege to mentor many politicians. I have had the privilege to provide internship for many people in the political space. And part of any success, whether in public service, whether in business, whether in politics, is to be able to mentor others to be as good, if not better, than yourself. And I hope those of us who have the privilege to serve as leaders, either in business or in public service or in politics, that we consider mentoring others, providing internship for others to learn from us, and that we can pass on the baton. And I like what I heard Aisha say, that part of the success of leadership is to be able to arrange a succession plan. Do not sit in an office, do not occupy a position as though you are going to be there forever. It is important for all of us who have the privilege to serve that one day we will not be able to serve in the positions that we have, and you will be the better, you will be the richer if you can mentor others into those positions, if we can create a mechanism for others to learn from us, so that continuously as a country, as a leadership, we are getting better. We can only become better, we can only get better as a nation if we learn from those who've been, so that we can improve those who will be. The question that keeps coming is, when somebody gets to 60, they begin to say, oh, you know, I have not arranged a succession plan. I need another 2 years extension so that I can do this and I can do the other. I mean, if you have reached retirement age and you have not done what you should have done, it cannot be an excuse. You just need to pack your small bags, move on, so that the others can also move up. And it is our policy decision that we respect our elders, and those who have served and have reached retirement age should not be bothered for a day longer with any other responsibility, but to give way to those who are graduating into those positions. As a politician, when my time comes, I am very confident that I have mentored enough young people, young leaders, who can, if not serve as good, maybe serve better than I have done. And I think that that should be the case for any public servant. Our strategy to transform the public service is centered on performance management and productivity. The ultimate measure of performance in public service is citizen satisfaction. Accordingly, the Government of Kenya will introduce a robust and integrated performance management architecture, and it will provide standardized tools for measuring service delivery across the public service, including state corporations and public universities. This will cut across both levels of government at the national and the county level. A review of the performance management framework in public service has revealed a number of constraints: misaligned institutional arrangements, inadequate policy, and to some extent, legislative and technical capacity limitations. Addressing these challenges requires a coordinated effort through a whole-of-government approach. Subsequently, the Prime Cabinet Secretary's office will work closely with the public service and the ministry concerned to bring together key agencies in government with a view to revamping, re-institutionalizing, and driving a citizen-centric performance management system. The new strategy will seek to entrench a renewed public service performance culture. It will also seek to promote innovation and, crucially, secure the services of the best minds in our country by rewarding public servants who serve with distinction. We will also revitalize the Public Service Week and the Public Service Excellence Award, among other initiatives. Allow me to turn to my favorite part of this audience, the young people gathered here today. And we have two groups. The 3,902 interns joining the public service as the fifth cohort, the public service internship program, and the first cohort of the Public Service Emerging Leaders Fellowship. These two programs are undeniable success stories and underscore the government's commitment to strengthen and nurture strong leadership within the public service. And let me put this in context. We figured out this whole program of internship before the elections in 2017. And it was our intention to have a whole of government, a whole of country program where graduates from our institutions of higher learning can have at least 1 year transition as interns in their areas of expertise in the various areas. Unfortunately, we were not able to implement it the way I had thought about it. But I am happy that at least we started. And what is required now is for us to configure this, institutionalize it in policy and in law. And I'm happy that the Attorney General is here, so that you can work with the ministry concerned and work with the public service so that we can institutionalize internship as a program of transition for young people coming out of college, for them to acquire at least some level of understanding of what they learned in class and practice it at least in our institutions, whether they are public or private. I want to announce that the first step, and that's why I agree with you, Mr. Chairman, is that we have today 3,900 interns. The next intake, next year, I will suggest that we start with 20,000 next intake. Because I am told those who applied were 31,000 and only 3,900 got an opportunity, not to get a job, but to just have a feel of what government, public service, what the field looks like. And I think more young people should be afforded an opportunity to be an intern. I will be proposing that we work with the private sector so that private sector companies, industry, can work with us on this internship program. And we are going to provide tax incentives for industries and private sector companies that will partner with us to afford an internship opportunity for the many young people graduating from our institution of higher learning, so that we can not only provide a transition for them, but we can also give them an opportunity to practice what they have learned in class, and for them to have a feel of what working in these offices looks like. That was our intention, and I intend to make it good this time around, now that I have the opportunity. So, Mr. Chairman and Madam Waziri, please begin to figure out how this is going to look like. I have some ideas. If you talk to me on the side, I have some ideas on how I think this should look like, so that we can, of course, take it through the usual process of public participation, so that also Kenyans can bring their ideas on what we need to do for our young people as they graduate from our institutions of higher learning. I am pleased to witness the enthusiasm of our young people working in the public service. I welcome you and ask you to bring your energy, your resilience. Please come with your ideas and creativity and innovation, because public service deserves the best. Karibuni sana. You are not just the now, you are also the future. And if you do your best, I am confident that our public service will be in good hands today, tomorrow, going into the future. I must say this: do not join the public service and hold back or shy off from contributing your ideas. There are no right or wrong ideas. We must always be prepared for a good idea to give way to a better idea, and for a better idea to give way to the best idea. That is where I would like public service to be. I remember, Chairman, when I came into office and we wanted to appoint CASs, and the public service brought to my attention that the court had problems with what the CAS, how the CASs had been appointed earlier. And I, after consultations, I told the chair and the public service, all I need is honest advice. And all we must do is go by the rule of law. And we had to redo the whole architecture because it was the advice of a professional public service. All public servants must discharge their mandate, their responsibility, go about their work, and be honest and serve, as was said here ably, with dignity. No is also an answer. If it is not possible, please say it is not possible. Do not cut corners. Do not bend rules. Let us play by the rule book. That's how Kenya is going to go forward, and that's how public service is going to remain professional. As you join the public service, you must do so to add value, to bring something new to the ecosystem where you will be working from. We expect ideas, we expect excellence, and we expect innovation and creativity. I want to congratulate the 51 fellows in the Emerging Leadership Fellowship Program. I understand you are now at the tail end of your training, which focused on public leadership development and inculcation of public service ethos. I am confident that you have adequately benefited from the many professional development opportunities that the program has offered you. And I want to reiterate that I am sure you are I want to reiterate what I am sure you are aware of. We have high expectations of you, and we expect you to take up and deliver exceptional results in leadership capabilities across the public service. We expect this because we are confident you now understand the immense value of good leadership and strong values to any organization and to any society. When you return to your various departments, share the knowledge you have acquired with your colleagues and mentor others to be like you or even better. I challenge you to set a new leadership example and standard in government. I urge you to be agents of real change and, above all, to keep the fire of service burning within you and in the organizations that you represent. There is no better place to practice your leadership skills than in the Kenyan public service. As the Commission begins the recruitment of the next cohort of fellows, I reiterate my personal support to this initiative, and let us build more leaders. Let us have a public service full of leaders, and we shall see an incredible difference as a nation. I wish to extend my gratitude to our partners, emerging public leaders of the United States, and our very own Emerging Leaders Foundation for their financial support that enabled us to run this program. And as I said, I am looking forward beyond APSA, and we must be grateful to APSA. Thank you very much for being our partners. Beyond APSA, I am expecting all our banks, all our private sector players, people in industry, people in business. Even if you run a business of 20, 30 people, take one intern, take two interns. What we are going to do is to make sure that if you become our partners and take an intern into your mentorship and into internship in your organization, we are going to allow you some tax rebates so that we can do this together and provide opportunities for the thousands of young people who are looking for an opportunity to display their talents, their knowledge, their expertise, and also use their energy to drive our development. I am delighted to commission the graduate interns joining the public service under the internship program. All of you here today were professionally recruited by the public service among 31,000 applicants. I must say, to make it to 3,900 from 31,000, you deserve some congratulations. Pongezi. I am also informed that representations are from every ward in Kenya. It couldn't be better. And I hope, Mr. Chairman, as I told you, I have some suggestions. I hope that those who, even if you come from a particular ward, that your internship should not necessarily be in your county. I think it is important for you to go to a different county and see what it looks like, and learn a different language, and look at different culture, and sample our nation. Do not be a villager. You know, there are people who go to primary school, secondary school, college in the same village. Please, we are a diverse nation, and the more we integrate, the more we work together, the better we become as a nation, and the greater the appreciation of our diversity. This means that all of you, the 3,900, are special. All of you have something that can help us move the country forward. I am very confident about that. And I want to commend the Commission for ensuring that the interns reflect the face of Kenya by distributing all the available slots and ensuring also that persons living with disability and all genders are adequately represented Again, Mr. Chairman, since these are very few opportunities, I hope next time, and since it is within your power, we can make this admission to internship 50-50 when it comes to gender, so that we can take this forward. Now, in its fifth cycle, the internship program has benefited more than 16,500 young graduates and continue to grow in popularity and reach. The program has injected vigor and energy into the public service through the creativity and ingenuity of youthful graduate interns. The length and breadth of Kenya has felt the impact of this program. The public service needs you and all of us. We have hopes in you. After your internship, you will be interested, hopefully, in a career in the public service. At the individual level, the internship program gives you an opportunity to gain work experience, develop interpersonal skills, build self-confidence, and enhance your chances of employment. I think the Deputy Governor of Murang'a is one such example. It is encouraging to note that over 10% of the interns who have previously been on the program have progressed to full-time employment in public service institutions. Owing to its success, the government will continue to support the growth of the program, and as I have said, the next intake will be 20,000 interns, and I look forward to working not just with all the parastatals, but all in the spectrum of both public and private. I hope private companies, good people in the private sector will take up this opportunity to work with us to provide internship to these young people of Kenya so that they can become better servants of Kenya, whether they work in the public or the private sector. Much as we would wish to absorb all of you after the internship, we acknowledge that the government does not have enough openings for all of you. However, the government will continue to implement policies that promote investment and job creation by the private sector, as we were doing yesterday. Yesterday, with working with the American government and the American Chamber of Commerce, I think we have opened up opportunities in our special economic zones, in our export promotion zones, in our pharmaceutical sector, for us to access not just jobs for our young people, but to also access commodities, foreign exchange, taxes, and grow our economy. However, I am happy also and pleased to note that the public service has plans to develop a framework for partnership with private sector organizations in this program. That's my recommendation, Mr. Chairman and Waziri, so that we can bring all the assets that we have, both public and private, to support this exercise. We will also anchor the program in law to ensure its institutionalization and sustainability by amending the Public Service Commission Act, and accordingly, the Attorney General will liaise with the Commission and Parliament to expedite appropriate legislative amendments of the laws to provide for this program going into the future. Allow me to make a few remarks about the 2021-2022 report on status of compliance of values and principles in Articles 10 and 232 of the Constitution that the Commission has presented to me this morning. I note that the survey covered 477 public institutions out of 525, representing a response rate of 91%. The head of public service is directed to write to those who did not respond to explain to us which government they serve. While this is an improvement from the previous year, anything short of 100% response is not only unacceptable, it is not right. Going forward, the government of Kenya will demand answers from public institutions that do not participate in this evaluation that is anchored in law and in the Constitution. It is worth noting that the overall compliance level improved from the previous financial year, indicating that public institutions have progressively aligned with the national values and principles of governance outlined under Article 10 of the Constitution and values and principles of public service under Article 232 of our Constitution. I want to assure you that the government will fully implement the recommendations of this report. We will ensure that the public service reflects the face of Kenya's diverse communities and affords adequate and equal opportunities for appointment of women, men, members of all communities, and persons living with disability. The recommendations to migrate public service to online platforms to ensure compliance with values and principles of governance is in perfect synchrony with our plan to digitize government services. So far, 5,700 government services have been digitized, and we are well on course, ensuring that by June this year, between 90% and 100% of all government services will be online, so that the public service can be much more efficient and much more effective in delivering services to the people of Kenya, even as we use the digital platform to eliminate corruption, to eliminate pilferage, to eliminate wastage, and to make government services not just efficiently delivered, but also to make it easy for citizens to interact and work with their government. The recommendations will be, as I have said, completed, and this exercise will be done by June to allow Kenyans to access services without unnecessary bureaucracy. The digital transformation era that we live in demands smart solutions. Now more than ever, we need our smartest and most innovative men and women to drive public service, secure our country, grow our economy, and promote social inclusion. The government will therefore continue to invest in the development of skills to support transformation into a truly digital economy. Finally, let me extend my gratitude to all public servants across the country for the work you do and you continue to serve our nation. The government will progressively improve your terms of service and conditions of work. It is now my pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, after everything I have said, to say that as we progress together, let us not be distracted. We are a robust democracy. We believe in the rule of law, and it is my contention that the Constitution, even as it provided for us to have divergent opinions, and we should. In fact, something would be very wrong with us if we agreed on everything all the time. Having competing ideas, having divergent opinion is part of what we celebrate as a democracy, and we must celebrate our diversity in ideas as well. But it is my position that the Constitution did not envisage that different opinions would result in chaos or loss of property or loss of life. We must, all of us, be able to celebrate all the rights provided for in our Constitution in a manner that respects the rights of others, and also in a manner that does not destroy property, or in a manner that does not make our children not go to school. I think we can do that. We are mature enough to be able to do that. And I hope that all of us will begin to understand where we must go. It is now my pleasure to declare the 5th cohort of the Public Service Internship Program and the 2021-22 report on status of compliance with values and principles of Article 10 and Article 232 of the Constitution by the Public Service officially launched. Asanteni sana. Thank you very much. God bless you. Na asante sana. Congratulations, Chairman and all the commissioners. And we look forward to working with you. And I think all is well. Na wangwana wale interns, congratulations for being part of this program. I look forward to working with you, and I look forward to us moving the country forward together. Asanteni sana. God bless.
Able to